Alright, so one thing I'm hoping to do is shoot the film on with an anamorphic lens, which I think I went into earlier. Now I've got this one, which I've just disassembled because it needed cleaning, but look at this, look at the shape of the glass. It's just incredible, isn't it? And this part here, with the curve on it as well. Yeah, somehow, and this is before I had it, dust got in between the elements, so I'm giving it a clean and hopefully this will be successful. If not, the film will be in 16:9 instead of 2.35:1. There we go. Alright, so I've reassembled it. It looks like it's been successful. There was spots of mould or fungus or whatever inside there, which I've got rid of. There's a few tiny little scratches and blemishes, but this used to belong to Cupics and it was one that they hired out, so it's had a rough life. But yeah, I mean, you can see a couple of scratches, but I don't think that's going to make a difference when we're filming. And just out of interest, it's going to work here. There's there's the compression. So yeah, no, look, I think it's going to be fine. I'll set it up to the camera now, give it a go. A little bit nerve-wracking, I've never disassembled a lens before, but seems to be alright. Okay, so to space it out, I've got I can't remember what it is, the front lens thread on the camera is 58mm. So there's a polarizing lens in here with the glass cut out of it, taken out of it. That's so it allows me to rotate here without moving the lens, because when I change focus, which I hope I won't have to do because it's actually quite tricky with an anamorphic lens, but when I change focus, that will allow me the barrel of the rest of the lens to move around without changing the front end, because if the front end moves, then you get the diagonal kind of distortion and slanting. So I've got that just for rotating. Then I've got a just for a spacer, 72mm, again, I think there was a UV lens, again with the lens taken out. Then some step down rings, 62 to 72, and well, 72 down to 62, and 62 sorry, down to 58, and then that goes on the front of the camera. So there's a lot of different parts in there, but I think it's worth it. Okay, and so here we have the camera with a pretty, let me just open this pretty large matte box on the front of it, which is just for the barn door, just for the barn doors there. So I'd like to actually keep that on. I'm thinking the lens will fit in here, but then this might make focusing a bit hard. I'll just have to put it all in and see how it spaces out. I've got those rods, which, see, the other thing too is when you change focus, you need something to stop the front anamorphic element from moving, because it might get a slight bit of movement. So I'm hoping those rods might be able to do that. So anyway, we'll put it all on and see what happens. First thing, I'll take these matte lens off and then put the lens on and try and put the matte box back on it. I don't think I should bother trying to film this while I'm doing it. Maybe I can set up the camera there. Let's see if it's going to work. This is just my little phone, of course. Okay, so first thing, I loosened that earlier. So we'll just slide this off here. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, so we just take this off. Straight off. Alright, and of course with that rotating element there, makes it, it's going to be fun trying to screw it on. And I'll just push these rods at the back too, just get them out of the way. So, those rods there are now pushed back. I'll just lock them there. Righto, so I've got the lens cap off. Let me just check this lens is clean. Tiny little bit of dust, nothing major. That had a bit of lens cleaning fluid on it, so just get those streaks off. Yeah, that's really nice. Nothing smudged there, no streaks, no scratches, no nothing. Turn that off. Right, let's try and get this sucker on. Can do it. It's got to be a bit clever about it. I can line it up squarely and just because of the polarizer in there, it stays and allows me to rotate this. It's like it's gripping, but I feel like it's cross-threaded to me. That's better. It's screwing in quite easily now. So then that locks. Oh, no, that's right. There we are. So now, when I change focus, if something is locking, something is going to lock the front here in position, I can change focus and see how the thing's moving forward and back, but this isn't rotating. And it's also got this lock nut here. Take that off. Which I can use to get the angle right. You know, I've got to set it square first, so just turn the light back on, get the right screw for that. So at the moment this can move in two places. One is its own housing, there, there, and then here with the polarizing lens mount, which I took the glass out of. Right, so the next question then is, how do we factor that in with this? So, if we just push these rods forward, I'm missing it there. It's going to be crazy, isn't it? And of course this all has to go on a big shoulder mount too. Okay, so, you know the first thing I'm noticing, oh no, it's just going to make it, no, I'm going to set the camera just a bit higher. Well, the rod's a bit lower, no, I'm going to do. No, the rods have to be at that height because of the relationship here, so that's got to stay there. So I'm just hoping that, because this is going on a because this is going on a shoulder mount, I'm just going to make sure that the bottom of this here is, the bottom of the bracket there is not going to want to go below the foot here. It's holding the whole thing up. I'm not explaining this very well, but this is not an instructional video. Okay, so if I can just get these in. Oh, okay, now, who spotted my obvious error here? I should have put this around before I put the anamorphic lens on. Okay. Should I cut that out? No, let's keep it in there. Okay, so we'll just unwind this thing. Again. Be careful not to drop it once it finally reaches the end of its thread. There we are. Still nice and clean in there. Right, okay, so we'll chuck this thing back on. But we've got to push it all the way through, so I've got plenty of access to the front of the lens. So I want the rods at the back if I can. This one's always a bit tight over here. There we go. Okay, so now let's just push everything back as far as we go. I want the barn doors out of the way. Okay, now, you know, this may not work. This is all an experiment. Right, so now we'll try screwing this back on. There's not much clearance there. It's got, you can have a look when I butt that up there, that screw at the top. I don't know if you can see that. That screw there, that's one I use to secure that. I'm not sure if I'm holding this right. Anyway, there's a screw there which has to clear the mounting. I know this is badly filmed, but like I said, it's not an instructional video. Ooh, not fall over. Okay. Okay, so let's just try and screw it in. Now I'm going to take the microphone off so I can flip that top one back further. Okay, now this is hard because I can't actually see if it's square or not. I just have to try. I wonder if I can get this back any further. That's it, that's as far as we'll go. Okay, that gives me better visibility now. So I just try and put them together, get it nice and square. There we go. Okay, so that's rolling on nicely. That's good. So now the first thing I want to do is line up this top part so I've got the rotation on that correct. So if I turn the camera on, let's just get them forward. All these bits and pieces here. Put the mic back on top. Okay, the mic of course is pretty important. Okay, so turning the camera on. What can we see? Nothing, it's very dark at the moment. Here is the image, so I've got Magic Lantern on here. If you can see all this. Like I said, non-instructional video. If you lasted this long, it's obviously because you're a camera nerd and you just want to see if I can complete this. Okay, so let's open it right up. Indoors. What else have we got? Shutter. Can stay there. 1600 is a bit crazy. I'd never like to go over 800. Here we go. Okay, so now you can see if I rotate this, you can see the distortion. So what I want is for that to be lovely and square, and best way I find to do that is, well, I mean, you can measure it, you can get our spirit levels and all the rest, or you can just look at vertical lines in, you know, wherever you are. Okay, don't know if this is making any sense. There's a door frame over there, let's try and get that nice and vertical. But the point is, you've got to get it perfect, so, and you can see the focus is out, so let's try and do something on the focus. It should really be in focus first, I think. Anyway, so now that's in focus, but you could see how the that angular distortion came in. So I need a way to get it in focus and to lock that in from moving. So look, that's not too bad there right now. There. So what I might do is just put the phone down, just lock all this off and come back when I've got it sorted. Okay, so I've got it mounted in there now, and this is what it looks like. Oh! Ta-da! Not sure if you can actually see that there, so it's all very black, isn't it? So if I pull them out, you can see the anamorphic lens mounted on the front. Not entirely sure there's much light there. I'll just pick the whole thing up. Okay. There we go. So, where's the best? Here, okay. So you can see, there's the back of the DSLR there. There's the anamorphic lens. And you can see here that hopefully that screw I was talking about there to lock the front. Now this can still move, of course, because I've got the that mounting from the polarizing lens there, so which I need. So when I focus it, that's going to twist the lens and also move it forward and back. So now I need to put something just underneath the anamorphic lens, just between the rods and the anamorphic lens, just to stop that moving. Still going to allow it to move forward and backwards, but just to stop it twisting. And the actual twist in the rear element of the lens will be taken up by that two-stage in the polarizing lens that can rotate around. And of course there's no actual glass in there either. So I'm going to operate it like this with the barn doors in. That's to stop a bit of sun flare. Ironically, that's what most people want when they have an anamorphic lens, so I don't know, we'll see how we go. We may or may not want some of that. I can pull it out if I do. And so that's the image there. I might go outside and shoot a little bit with it just so you can see what it looks like. Well, so I can see what it looks like too. And I've just got a tiny little space in there to get my fingers into focus. So, not practical for pulling focus. But at least I can change focus. Okay, so after a bit more work, here's what the camera is looking like at the moment, the whole rig. Hang on, if I turn this to the camera that faces the other way. Okay, so here's what it's looking like at the moment. This is a shoulder mount that was built for me many years ago by a gentleman called Alan Beale. I'm still using it now, Alan. The Sennheiser mic there, so that'll be pointing at whoever I'm filming, and I'll see how I block it out. Hopefully I always want to film whoever's talking and not kind of drift over to reaction shots. We might have to, I can swivel that mic if I have to. The zoom there, we'll have that in 4-channel mode, so it will take the mono feed from the boom mic, but those two stereo mics there will also be recording, so it'll give us a bit of stereo sound and also some Atmos. Now, this old lens, it didn't have a lens cap. You can't buy them anymore, so I just made one. That's just cardboard covered in gaffer tape. There's the lens there. Now, I've decided I'm going to take this off because it's just too cumbersome as the lens moves backwards and forwards as you zoom around. It's an issue, and also it's just creating a problem trying to get access to the focus ring. So that's about to come off. Whatever flares I get, that's cool. There's a tiny little kind of box around the front of that. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to take that off now. But yeah, it's starting to look good. Footage I shot earlier was good, I think. So yeah, anyway, it's getting there. Okay, so this is what it looks like without that setup on it. This is much better. It's gives me better access in here to the focus ring. I'll get those rods set in the right length. There's the zooming action, so that's got to be free to move forward. And I've got to be able to focus it and not have it actually twist. This bit here's got to twist without the rest of it twisting. So I was worried about how to do that. I think it's actually going to be quite easy. I'm just going to get a bit of pine and just sit it under here, and just drill holes through it, and it'll just sit under there. So this thing will butt up against it, won't be able to move. Should be able to slide backwards and forwards, but it won't be able to twist. So these rods are just perfect for that. What it will mean is I've got to get the heights exact, which won't be hard because that's all about where I drill these holes. The extra bit of wood can sit down the bottom there. So yeah, it's all good. Anyway, time to get up to the table for dinner. So that's it. And here's the lens cap again. I guess I'll have to be able to slide that bit of pine out of the way when I put that lens cap on. So. Okay, just another quick thing. I've just screwed that mic back on. Now that mic, the purpose of that is just to create audio on the video file, just for a sync reference. The audio quality coming out of there won't be that good, yeah, that'll just allow us to synchronise it. I think we'll just have I don't even know if we'll slate it, we'll just have a hand clap. And also too, this does vignette, I've noticed, so in my previous experiments, so I can't have this at 18mm, I've probably got to have it at 24 or something, not quite sure what the widest I can go with it. There's a bit of play in that, but that I think is the zoom mechanism in here, so I don't actually think it's a big deal. And when I put the pine under there, that'll secure it. Yeah.